But that's all right. It's me and you. We got a special kind of friendship.
I am not your friend.
Sure you are. Fishing buddy?
You guys.
Good afternoon, everybody. How are you?
See, Penny is here. And
We have
Gambit's here and Snort is here.
Man, I'm still not used to seeing Penny's name like that. It's so weird.
Yeah.
I really
Take
don't
that
like what
back,
they've done.
YouTube, please.
That's really weird that they did that. It's just weird.
It serves no purpose. It's still a made-up name.
Well, it makes it so less personal by showing just what their at is. It's like, hey, don't tell Martin what to do.
Hey, damn. Let us start the show at least, my God.
Dude, usually he asks for that 2 hours before we even hear. So
you're gonna have to start the show with Snort's video instead of an intro.
I think I know what Martin's thinking right now.
Bullshit!
God damn, I love that. Sorry, Arima. It wasn't my intention.
What movie is that from? The Bullshit Kid.
Oh, no, that's a TV show.
Bullshit!
Tale from the Crypt.
Yep, that's the Crypt Keeper. And he was fucking funny. That is a horror show you would enjoy. We should probably poke around sometime next year watching some of the best ones. Because I have specific ones that I really love.
The Crypt Keeper, I think, is the only character that has ever killed Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Oh?
Yes.
Yeah, you have to remind me. I don't remember that.
They were co-hosting a show, a presentation of the Crypt Keeper, and after the story end, you see the Crypt Keeper talking alone, and on his desk is Arnold dead with a knife on his back.
Oh.
Okay, so it was created and produced by, I should say, a gentleman by the name of Richard Donner. You might know him from such things as Lethal Weapon, Superman the movie, and he also secretly directed the third X-Men film. Wasn't it the third one? Because that was when what's his name got fired. And his wife was the senior executive producer behind the X-Men films. And he kind of went in there and helped her by secretly directing scenes. Because it's the guy that had got Me Too. The director. Forget his fucking name. We just did a movie of his. And I can't think of his fucking name right now. But anyway, he kind of got shit canned. And so Richard Donner stepped in secretly. Like, he gets no credit for it. And to my knowledge, there's no physical proof of his hands touching that film. But that is what the hubbub was, that he secretly did that for her. Hi, Snorty. How you doing, buddy? So we're going to be talking about a film that it really came at a rough time for me. Because... that year was rough. Christmas, around Christmas of 1990, because I was getting ready to go permanent party. I was on break. I was visiting my mother and my stepdad, and they popped it in, and I watched it with them, and it hit me just the right feels. And what I loved about it was, I loved the music more than anything in the film. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love Sean Connery. I could watch Sean Connery all day long. But the jazz that was used in that movie was so fucking beautiful. And in fact, we were watching it the other day, and I hadn't noticed before. At least I don't remember noticing. I might have noticed it at the time because, man, I know Branford Marsalis when I hear Branford Marsalis on saxophone. And I was watching the movie with Danny, and I went, that's Branford Marsalis, not Wynton, but Branford. So I went to look it up, and
And
it
of
was like,
course it
yeah,
was him.
it was him. And I'm like, how did I not remember knowing that? Because I don't know. Because I was a big fan in the 80s of Branford Marsalis. In fact, he was my serious introduction back into jazz, because I played jazz band in high school, just drums. And then he was on Sting's first few albums. They collaborated a lot. And then, of course, when Jay Leno took over The Tonight Show, he wrote the Tonight Show theme. Oddly, it played at the end of the show, not at the beginning, his theme.
That's
And he was the band leader for the Tonight Show band for a brief time under Jay. But I think the constrictions of doing that was getting to him. So he quit, left the show on good terms, but left nonetheless. But I love the soundtrack to this.
I'm pretty sure you noticed back in 1990, but it's been 35 years since then, so you just didn't remember.
I know,
and
like
it
I
wasn't
said,
much.
that night was a tumultuous night. It was just a lot of shit was going on a personal level, and I was trying to spend some time with my mom and my stepdad, whom I loved my stepdad. I loved him more than my mom. I just thought the guy was wonderful, and and it also led to me because he was a Lutheran minister, and he was just the sweetest guy. And we used to sit and talk Shakespeare all the time, and I connected with him in a way that I could never connect with my mom, because as clever as my mom was, she was a fucking idiot. She really was. She was dumb as the day is long. But man, if she had to figure out how to get out of a situation, she was Johnny on the spot, or Jenny on the spot, and could absolutely figure any problem out. But when it came to just day-to-day stuff, she was ridiculously dumb, and led to some funny moments. I've told you guys about it. She thinks the name of the car was the Grand Prix. At a table full of family and children, she said, "You know what my favorite military hat was?"
Oh, yeah.
I love that when they called a cunt cap, and Mom.
That's a memory forever.
Oh yeah, it stays with me. It's one of my fond memories of my mom and some of that stuff. I don't have very many memories of my mom. I told you one yesterday that my last childhood memory of my mom was her tickling me, and I was just fucking laughing. It was in that house in Charleston. I'll show you the place again, and she was into just tickling the shit out of me. This is back when I was ticklish, and she just getting me going. And all of a sudden, man, I had the worst asthma attack I ever had, and I ended up.
Shit!
She had to take me to the hospital. And that's when I learned that I have all three versions of asthma: temperature or environment induced, allergy reduced, and exercise induced. I'm like, thanks God, you're awesome.
Right.
The trifecta. Well,
the trifecta.
You didn't want to be incomplete, right?
Yeah,
you have to collect them all.
You're a completionist.
If I'm going to have a disease, I am a completionist. You know that. And so that is like one of my last real fond memories of my mom. And boy, oh boy, I watched this film with them, and I got so emotional watching this. But that's because I was in an emotional middle ground that was just all fucked up. And I had already assigned to my original party, because I'd been drilling with them and everything, but I didn't want to be there anymore. I wanted to be somewhere else. So I transferred and got into a huge fight with my commanding officer, which is why my DD-214 is fucked up. Because even though in my DD-214 records it shows my attachment to that California unit. He was the one who processed the paperwork. He intentionally left it out of my final DT-214, which is the second page. And so the Army is fully aware that I was there. They knew where to get a hold of me, but he made sure not to show that transfer. And yeah, which is why, and I bring this up again, if anybody has ever had a problem with their DD-214, it was in the military, all you have to do is contact the Army. You might have to go through some loops or hoops like I'm having to do. It's called Request Update to DD-214, and it can be found at this address. It is a PDF. I do believe you can fill it out. Yeah, you can fill it out online and then submit it. And here it is, DD-214. Because all of you, even if you weren't in the military, someone in the military. If they ever have a problem, let them know about this, because you can actually do a request. Now, I do recommend they do like I do. Make sure they have senior NCOs, their cadre, to sign for them, because they will have to bear witness to what they're claiming. They need witnesses for that. And I, of course, have both of my commanding sergeants. And I will never go to my former XO because he was a fucking idiot. I didn't like him. You know who he is. I've talked about him before. He's the one who said you cannot he had a mixture of Pakistan-India accent. He says, oh, no. You cannot stick a Humvee. Humvees are unstickable.
Oh,
and
I
immediately turned into a gutter that was about 10 feet down, and I bounced it, and I propped it from end to end, and the wheels not touching in the corner.
So basically, you said, hold my MRE ration.
That's exactly what I did. Hold my fucking beer. And I fucking drove that off that ledge, stuck that fucking thing in. He would not even talk to me for like 2 days. That was
you look like an idiot.
That was a 2-week drill. We were out in the summer, out near Fort Ord, California.
I think we have someone new. Is Stephen Collins?
Oh my God! I hope it's not the real Stephen Collins. That's the guy that got in trouble a few years back. He played Captain Decker in Star Trek: The Motion Picture. He did the show, the Golden Monkey, and Stephen Collins did that family show. And after it was done, he confessed to his wife something that was going to be coming out before she found out from other sources, that he had inappropriately behaved with an underage girl. And it destroyed his career. He's now living in Pennsylvania on a farm. I think it's Pennsylvania. And no,
he's Scottish.
So he's not crap.
So you're not crap. If it's not Scottish, it's crap. Yeah. That's awesome. That's wonderful, because now we have another Scotsman on in our chat to judge my bad Scottish accent. Yeah, that's the series. Thank you, Steve. Thanks for not being here.
Yeah, why are you not here?
Not to hang out with us. We just really appreciate that. Oh, I can jump in the chat. Can't hang out with you. I'm too cool for you.
Show him how Keith is judging Keith, Gary.
I don't think anybody noticed what I posted early this morning.
What did you post?
In our group chat. I'm not sure. I think it was between 4 and 7 o'clock this morning. Let me go back and see what time.
There you go.
Because then
Keith
jumps in there. Keith goes, rest in peace, Kari Haruyuki Kagawa. And I'm like, dude, I said that hours before. And of course, there's no image. It's this post from Yellow Flash. I just yelled, no. And that's what I was posting, is his post about him dying, because Kari was just a great fucking actor. He could play good guys. He could play bad guys. He was awesome.
Oh, yeah, it is my fault. I'm the worst producer ever. I know that kid is sick, and I'm here giving him shit. Sorry,
so that's
kid.
why he... No. He still deserves it. How dare you get sick? I'm here with a bad neck, and I'm still living through it.
Oh my! It finally happened. Quick, how do I
What would
get
be
a
funny
hold?
is if I actually died and the last thing Martin said was making fun of me. That would be funny.
No, I promise you, I will make it fun of you because I know that is what you want.
Of course,
Yes, exactly.
he dies saying that. And well, you guys know what kind of dick I am. And
No
like
one
I've
knows
always
better
said,
than me.
yeah, I've always said that, you know, how I want to die. I want to die under a woman, you know, having just completed, and then just croak. And they went, oh, so you can go out on a nut. And I went, no, so I can traumatize someone for a long time. Because that will traumatize somebody, even though they could also really enjoy going, man, I'm so good, I killed him.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, but Maggie
She
Smith,
she died a while back.
yeah.
Yeah. I love Maggie. I love that lady. She was a true
She was
dame.
great. Yeah.
Oh, it is so wrong the way veterans and ex-forces are treated over here as well. Collins, I got to tell you, right now,
She died last year.
one of the most fucked up parts of the United Kingdom is Scotland. It is so fucked right now with identity politics, which means socialists. You have so many socialists over there in Great Britain, and it seems like they all want to go north. And like Scotland is like, I have been reading from friends of mine over there in Scotland of how bad it is and how bad it's gotten. But all of Great Britain is going this way to where if your child is attacked sexually, they're not the victim. The one who perpetrated it is the victim. And they will arrest the kids before they will the perps. And that shit's got to change. The other problem I have with Scotland, and I don't know. I haven't heard much about Wales. I don't know many people in Wales. To be honest with you, not a big fan of the Welsh. I spent some time there. And they're great singers. They're great
Oh, yeah, they all can
storytellers.
sing.
But they're the most paranoid motherfuckers I've ever met on the planet. And so I did not enjoy myself in Wales. But I loved Scotland. And I loved Great Britain. I lived in England for a while. I spent a lot of time stomping around Ireland and Scotland.
Oh, I loved Ireland. Dublin was wonderful.
It's like, I grew up in Virginia, one of the greenest states in the United States, outside of Seattle and Washington, I should say. And I was not prepared for how green Ireland was. Like even the rocks are green because they're covered with moss.
Yeah.
It was like really weird. Well, what part of Scotland? Because I know they've had problems in Inverness and Glasgow. Scotland's wonderful,
that might have been like single incidents though. So we can't generalize on like 2 reported incidents.
Well, all I know is that socialism has moved north of England.
Okay, bye, Keith.
Bye, Keith. Hope you feel better.
Bye.
Dick. I mean, buddy. New Zealand is green too. I'll never know. I don't think I'll ever go there. I don't want to go to Australia or New Zealand.
No.
Australia for particular reasons, because Australia, pretty much everything that I'm terrified of is there.
You know that it's green just by having seen a Lord of the Rings because they shot it there. It is very green.
You know, it's got to be green when they do scenes that are supposed to be in Ireland, but it's in New Zealand. And they get away with it. I miss you too, buddy. Every time I take a shot.
Jesus Christ. We shouldn't go into that. We're an entertainment stream.
I don't think,
about a movie.
What I find is most people don't fucking know what right is.
Yeah.
They have no idea. They'll read back what they're told, bullet points that they've read on specific places. So I'm not too worried about it. I know my historical relevance of what's what. There's been one terrorist attack in Scotland. They got the fuck knocked out of them. Yeah, actually, I like that one girl that she was getting attacked for protecting her little sister,
Yeah.
and of course it was the leftists that were attacking her. So, yeah. Daniel Garcia, how you doing, man? I'm assuming you were saying that to Keith. I know you meant right wing, but I don't think you understand, buddy, what right wing is and what left wing is.
Well, there has been a big global campaign to obfuscate what that term means. So,
Well, of course, the leftists are known for intentionally
change the
using the wrong meaning of a word.
mhm.
And if you hear of a desire to collect weapons, well, that's heavy right wing. That's no, it's not. Right wingers like having guns, not just the government. So, yeah, if you don't know that basic rule, you don't know right wing. So, anyway, left and right have had bits and pieces swapped around.
Yeah, when you're talking about authoritarian positions in both extremes, they are oddly similar, very similar.
Yep. But the single most destructive of the last 100 years, 125 years, has been leftists, because that's Soviet Russia, China, North Korea, and a little German guy. Well, actually, he's Austrian.
The German.
He became a German, an Ethel Merman, and took off from there. And people will go, "No, he was extreme right wing." I'm like, no, he wasn't. He was an absolute socialist. It wasn't until towards the end that they, when he lost his connection with the Soviet Russians, he because they wanted to be in control of Europe, not him. He would answer to them. And once that became the problem, him and Stalin, he said bye-bye, and he took his socialist movement the other way, away from him. There's another Fox, and there's Edward Fox and James Fox, and one is good at playing good guys, and the other one is good at playing smarmy assholes. Both great, brilliant actors, and but he is a very good actor right here, and it's good to see someone of that caliber doing scenes with Sean Connery, because Sean Connery needs to be on his best when he's acting with someone like him.
His character here reminds me a lot of Mason.
Yeah, isn't that ironic? Don't you think?
Yeah.
Mason.
I knew what you were doing. Well,
and I do like that they bring up Glasnost, because this movie, by the way, is the first American film shot in old Soviet Russia. Because this I'm going to use the word correctly, so don't say anything, Anima. It is literally like days after the fall of the Berlin Wall. And they took advantage of it. And they shot for 45 days in Russia. And it was the first film to do this from the West, specifically the United States. And I thought that was incredible. I love this guy. He's being such an ass to her. And then at the end of this, he says, "Would you like to have dinner sometime?" And she goes, "That would not be convenient." That shit's funny. And I couldn't believe they were allowed to shoot this there that way, because it was right at the tail end of it.
Well, they did show off Moscow. The scenery is amazing in this. The actors are great and the music is fantastic, but that's it for me. The story just fell flat.
I love the location shooting. I love the interiors. Now, some of the interiors were shot like at the Russia House. That is actually shot up north of us in is it New Brunswick, I think? It's in Canada. And it's a beautiful location. The thing that shocked me is I could have sworn the actor who played Belloc in Raiders was in this. And I was wrong. And I'm trying to figure, he was in some sort of Russia movie. And I just can't fucking remember what it was. And I went looking through his resume and I think I spotted it, but I'm not going to go looking for it again. So, but this film was just, you know, it's a slow burn of a film that was so slow it annoyed Anima. And
it's not just that it's slow; it lacks a proper story. I mean, it's supposed to be a political thriller,
Ouch.
And I was so fucking bored. I enjoyed the music.
But it is a slow burn of a film that does have a story, but it takes you a while to get to the plot. And I'm okay with that because I prefer the character study over plot any day of the week. And so I'm fine with the film the way it was.
I enjoyed this film so much more than I was expecting.
It's just not her kind of film, and I get that. It's
yeah.
So I'm just going to go into this, and before I talk about anything, the gentleman's name is David John Moore Cornwell. Okay, he was born in 1931 and died sadly in 2020. He's better known by his pen name, Jean Le Carré. And he was a British-Irish author, best known for his espionage novels, many of which were successfully adapted for film or television. He's known for sophisticated, morally ambiguous writing. And I think he does because, you know, like you see in this film, Sean Connery, you don't know what he's up to, you know, because he's hiding all of his cards, not just from the enemy, but from his supposed side. And he's done work for British intelligence before. It's not like he hasn't been a spy. His character's clearly been a spy. And I like the fact that he does create characters like this because they don't really show their allegiance a lot of the time until near the end, when everything begins to show itself. And that's what happens in this film. We're all the way at the third act before we find out where his allegiances are. And by the way, he created one of my favorite characters that I hope to see Gary Oldman play again, is Smiley. And Smiley's people, I always loved that character. That simple. He was also the first spy novelist to really show you the circus. And that is what MI5 called it back in the early heyday during the Cold War. They referred to it as the circus. And you only when you read something from Jean Le Carré will you see it done realistically that way. I mean, it came close to it with the Harry Palmer film, the first one. But really, Le Carré shows you the ugly side of it more. And the fact that there was a lot of subterfuge and you had problems in the circus with people who had counter motives. And he would brutally show that to you. One of the toughest films was his first film, a book that got adapted, which was The Spy Who Came In From the Cold. Richard Burton was brilliant in that movie. And I'm glad they didn't shoot in color. They chose to shoot in black and white when film was typically in color at that point. But they wanted it to really feel cold to you. And with this film, you're more caught up in situations like this, where you have a room full of writers, not all sharing the same political ideology, just enjoying talking about writing and shit like that. But politics always comes into it because politics is life. And Brandauer here, am I saying, what's his last name?
Brandauer.
Yeah, Brandauer.
And actually,
plays an
because
ambiguous.
He's Austrian, but we don't use his full name. Typically, we just say KMB, his initials. That's what he's known
in
for.
Austria, yeah.
And he's from Styria, same region that Arnold is from. But other than Arnold, he knows how to speak well.
Well, he's
KMB,
probably
I'm pretty sure he
elsewhere.
gets to dub himself.
Well, I'm assuming he was educated too. So
he did stage work in Germany, yeah. So completely different coming into movies.
You lose your accent on stage.
Yep.
I did a lot of theater for years, including Shakespeare, and with the Rude Mechanicals, which was originally it was a classical Shakespearean troupe. It was all men, and the women worked backstage. And then finally, they decided we need to, even though it's great, it is sexist. Let's do this. So I was so grateful because
authentic Shakespeare doesn't have women on stage. They weren't allowed back then.
Yep. And so the Rude Mechanicals eventually transitioned. That's thanks to my friend Elizabeth Gray from high school. She helped bring about that change. And I was so grateful, though, that my voice kicked in so they would stop asking me as females. And it was very frustrating when I was younger doing Shakespeare.
Come on. You looked so good in that dress.
But it's true. I do look good in drag. But the funny thing is that was Laurie's dress that I was wearing in that photo you saw. I was playing a transvestite, and I didn't have any women's clothes. I didn't know how to buy women's clothes, and I was not going to go to a women's clothing store to buy clothes that would fit me. I was like, no, I'm not doing that. So Laurie went and sized me up and went into her wardrobe and pulled out that outfit, and I'm like, it fits. Yeah, I look pretty good in this. No, I don't. Not sure if Connery fits the kind of build I imagine that Gandalf, though voice-wise, he's too brawny. I don't know. I would have enjoyed him, but I think we got the perfect Gandalf. Outland is such a goofy movie, but it's one of my favorites. I love that movie. But the science in it is all fucked up.
Pull it up, Gary. Pull it up. I know you have that photo somewhere.
Oh, hold on. I got to find it.
Because she hasn't been around long enough to have seen it.
Yeah. Oh, hold on. I opened up Facebook. And there's Sam Irvin.
And after that, you should show Toga Gary.
Oh, God, yeah. Toga the drunk photo.
Oh, yeah. I used to drink like a fish.
I have never heard something like that. I'm still in that line.
Oh, that's odd.
But unlike Chuck, I will give you credit.
Just because you're afraid of him.
No, I'm not afraid of him.
Afraid of me? Boss. Why would he be?
No.
I know. He wouldn't.
He calls me boss, but he knows I'm not a boss.
That was funny when he called you boss when you were playing Call of Duty.
Yeah. Yeah, he would say that we're on an open mic system to where other players on our team can hear us. And he's saying, "Hey, boss." And I'm like, stop calling me that.
It's easier to pronounce for me than Gary.
Okay, so that would have been when I was 18, so I need to go find my teens. All right, hold on. Let me make sure. It might be in here. Blast from the past. I'll go ahead and I'll share this. Fuck it. Because it'll eventually find it.
Oh, Daniel and Stephen have been talking about so many movies that we have covered in this channel. Guys, I tell you, you should see our history of live stream. You will love them.
Well, if you want to know, have we talked about a movie yet? Just use the search function on our channel and it will pop right up.
It'll tell you.
Look at Teenage Gary. Oh my gosh.
I was 17 here. That's with Lori wearing my Empire Strikes Back magazine I bought from Monsters of Movieland magazine. And that was before my tooth. I still had a gap, but man, it got chipped by that old guy that elbowed me. Yes, and that's my ex-wife. My first ex-wife. Hey, my dad on my first birthday in his underwear, feeding the kids. He's feeding cake to my brother Michael, who died. My brother Stephen, my sister Luann, and my sister Susan. Nothing in there. Thought it might be in that one, but no. It's definitely my teens. It should be. So it should be in this one. And where is it? It should be. Oh, there it is. That's me in drag.
There you go. Sally, if you're not watching, it's time to come to your screen.
The closing scenes were filmed on location in Lisbon, Portugal. Yes, beautiful location too.
Oh, we haven't done this one yet. The Name of the Rose.
No, I've got it on my list because I like that movie a lot.
I tried to read the book as a teenager because my mom was reading it, and I found it really boring. And then it came on TV, and mom's like, "I want to watch this because Sean Connery is in it," and we watched it together. And man, what a movie! I loved it.
What? Russell Crowe is gonna be Ramirez? Okay. Oh my! I don't know what to think about it. I love Russell, but
fuck it. If we had a Scotsman, why not an Aussie?
Hi, Halen Place.
And I think that's it. Yeah, that's it. When people wonder what I can do with photos, one of the things I've done for my job is cleaning up old photos. So that's
what Sally Ford is said in here.
Photo, and you can see all the aging to it. And then I took it and I cleaned it up and brought all the natural colors back into it. Yeah, I look pretty good in the dress, dude. I really do. And this is another one. I couldn't salvage all of it, but I fixed this one too. And there we go. This is the end of the film, so there was just very little I could do with that. But I love de-aging photos. I de-aged this one too with my brother Steve and me. I'm wearing my William and Mary shirt, which was a college that I pretended to go to and actually lived in a dorm. Fake college. All right, that's it. So you've got a couple of really good actors in this scene. John Mahoney on the left. You see him there with the white hair, the pepper gray hair. And then, of course, you've got Roy Scheider here. But you also got over here on the right in that U.S. Army uniform, J.T. Walsh, a man who died too young. I love that guy as an actor. Nobody has anything to add to that, I guess.
No.
Right. He died in 1998. 8 years after this movie, he was dead. And he was just such a great fucking actor. He could play good guys. He could play really bad guys. And he could play slimy like nobody. That he's just one of those solid actors, you know. And I was going to look it up. Walsh died of a heart attack in a hospital in La Mesa, California, on February 26, 1998, at the age of just 54, after feeling ill and collapsing at the Optimum Health Institute in Lemon Grove. According to author Mark Pfeiffer, for whom Walsh had narrated a documentary a few weeks earlier, Walsh had experienced chest pains and had an EKG test done that resulted in a misdiagnosis.
Oh, well, that's so sad.
Nicholson, who acted with Walsh in A Few Good Men and in Hoffa, dedicated his Best Actor Oscar for As Good as It Gets to him. In his tribute to Walsh in the Time Out New York, Andrew Johnston wrote, Walsh is invariably referred to as a character actor who specialized in villains, but that description doesn't quite do justice to what he did. The typical Walsh character was a plot device, really serving either as a moral counterpoint to the star of the show or an Lego-like figure, egging on the hero in a way likely to lead to the protagonist's downfall. And he's just a fantastic fucking actor. He was the villain in Kurt Russell's movie Breakdown, where they kidnap his wife and leave him for dead.
I haven't seen Breakdown.
I think that's the name of the film. And
wait, Breakdown?
Yeah.
Wait, Breakdown is not with Kurt Russell? Because I know there are two movies that share the same premise. The wife.
Yeah, Breakdown. Breakdown, 1997, the year before he died. Mm-hmm. He played Warren Barr with Kurt Russell as the hero. And it's one word. It's not two words. It's Breakdown, one word. Mm. God, he was in Pleasantville, too. I forgot about that. I think he's like the best part of that movie. Because I liked the film, but I didn't love it. He was also in The Negotiator. He was in the movie Executive Decision, again with Kurt Russell. Wow. He was in Anthony Hopkins' Nixon. He played Ehrlichman, John Ehrlichman. I haven't seen that movie since the 90s. Crap, I need to go watch it again. But one of my favorite films he's in, I really do like this film, is Needful Things. Which stars Max von Sydow, Ed Harris, and Bonnie Bedelia. And then J.T. Walsh. It was a good film. Zordoz is fucking super weird, dude. But I do like the film.
Yes, we have to do that one.
It is a psychedelically weird yet... I think I really do consider it a masterpiece film. As bizarre as it is a masterpiece. I covered that show with Brian on his channel, talking about the amazing aspects of that story that a lot of people don't understand going into it. That the name itself comes from the Wizard of Oz.
Oz, yes.
Zardoz. And so the Wizard of Oz plays really at the center of the story.
And the discovery of that for Connery's character, when he discovered that the name, where the name comes from, that it is what it opened his eyes to everything. Oh, bye, Stephen. Have a nice day.
Stephen.
Bye,
See you soon. We'll be here tomorrow.
As they say in Scotland, ciao.
What?
Nothing. I'm just being an ass.
I think you went to the wrong Scotland, Gary.
Well, they do say that in Brazil because my Brazilian grandmother said that until the end of her life.
All Latin America uses that Italian expression too. But here's the thing: ciao, you can use it as aloha for greeting and a goodbye. But
and a goodbye.
Yeah.
But here in South America and Central America, we only use it as a goodbye.
Yeah, it's like I say it one of two ways: ciao bello or ciao bella. That's it.
What if the other person is ugly? You still say that?
Yeah.
Okay. We have a similar word in German that is used for greeting and goodbye. That's servus.
It is not my place to tell a woman she's ugly.
That's right.
That's what her mirror is for.
Oh, he did hear me say it. Okay, Stephen. You got all those, aqueducts and stuff all around Great Britain. I thought that was amazing when I saw him.
That was awesome. Roma could conquer everything and everyone, but said, the Scott, no. Those guys are crazy. Build a wall. We won't go there.
They were just scared of the bagpipes.
And as you don't know, Stephen, if you didn't know this, the Irish gave bagpipes to the Scottish as a joke, and the Scottish are so dumb they still don't get it.
I like that one.
I tell that to all my Scottish friends. The other joke I like to make about it is like, Scotland are just Irishmen that never learned to swim. But of course, the Scottish say the same thing. Well, An Irishman is just a Scotsman that never learned to swim. Well, they have shared bloodline. They do.
Yeah.
And a shared hatred of England. Call a fucking Scotsman an Englishman. Watch what happens.
Oh, don't.
Oh, no.
Actually,
don't do that. Don't you ever
that is the
do
same. That's the exact same thing as calling an Austrian German. It's the same insult.
Or reminding him that the worst German in history was actually from Austria.
No, we probably kicked him out.
I didn't do it this time, Anima. I didn't do it.
I know. I know. But it's not an insult to remind us of that, because that's just reminding us that we did a good job kicking him out. The Germans are the ones who fucked up and let him go to power. We didn't even let him into art school, so.
Yeah, but you did it like in the early ages of humanity when we have no plumbing and say, oh, there's shit in the house. Come on, take it out. But if it falls on somebody else, it's not our fault. And man, that splash everybody.
Ew.
Oh, what's this? If there would have been a third Conan from Arnold, could have been part of that cast. I didn't have much hope for it after they screwed up the second Conan film, The Destroyer. Dino had way too much control over that film, and that's why it's so fucked up. That's why he's running around with his skin all oiled in it. Just fucking Dino.
Oh, well, that was the first Conan movie I saw. So
yeah, I was talking about that a bit ago, Gambit. You might have heard me say that it shot for 45 days at the end of 89. 45 days they shot. And it was the first film from America to be fully shot in what was Soviet Russia.
Well, not fully, but large part.
Maybe if you listen to me and stop reading during the show, you'll hear me say these things, buddy.
You know you're talking to him, right? He doesn't listen to you. He doesn't listen to everybody.
He's not gonna
get off of Wikipedia and be with us, Gambit.
An Irishman is never drunk as long as he can hold on to one blade of grass and not fall off the earth. There you go.
That's good.
I love the fact that this joke is one of my favorites. Do you know what the definition of an Irish queer is?
Oh,
a man who loves his wife more than his beer.
Oh God.
That's an Irish joke from Ireland.
The cat disapproves.
Did you even understand the joke?
Yeah.
Do you even understand the words that's coming out of my mouth?
Yeah.
You
right.
absolutely do the single best bad impression of Chris Tucker I've ever heard.
Thank you.
That was really good.
Yeah, I love Arnold in that movie. I love Arnold in everything he's done, man.
Even the bad ones.
He says, I'm still here. I'm kind of wanting to take over the video because it's so out of focus. And who's showing it right now?
I am, as always.
Yeah, I'm going to do it. Where's the link at, Martin? Would you put it in the private chat for me?
I'll run it. Don't worry. I will that.
But 22 minutes
the quality just keeps dropping.
Don't take it off screen yet.
Okay. She said 22 minutes. So
Yeah.
Gary Oldman played the best version of George Smiley, and I do want to cover that film, Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy, because Mark Strong in here is so good in that movie.
When is not Mark Strong good?
Yeah,
God,
right.
Guy is
well,
awesome.
I will say there's one bad movie he's in, but I still enjoyed it because he's Mark Strong, and that's the one he did with what's his name?
Green Lantern.
No, I liked him in that.
No, I'm not talking about him. I always will like him, but the movie was.
Oh, the movie was awful, but no, he did a movie. I'll find it for you in here in a second.
There we go.
I loved it when he stopped wearing toupees, even though he still does occasionally. He just pretty much gave into being bald and being comfortable with it on camera.
Who, Connery?
No,
Strong.
No, Mark Strong.
Oh,
Connery never wanted to wear a toupee.
Well, they made him do it for James Bond.
Yep, and he liked it when he could just, be himself.
Yeah, but it gave us that funny scene after filming on the beach where he would fling the toupee at his hairstylist and say, "Well, I guess I'm done for today."
Oh, yes, Daniel. Do not remind us of that. Now everything is either Netflix or Disney. We are so screwed. It is not even funny.
Is the movie? Let me share real quick. Hold on, I was wanting to share something real quick. Can you pull that down for a second?
Yes. Oh. Sprachen Deutsch. Oh my God. I have to.
I do not like that Cohen dude. I don't like him.
Yeah, it's
but fuck, I laughed my ass off at this movie. And what killed me, the best scene in the whole film, is when Cohen's character, his brother, his idiot brother, starts shooting people with the gun. He goes, "Oh, this is great. This is great. Oh, I don't even have to try. You're just shooting people. You think this?" And he starts, complaining to his spy brother. "You act like this is hard work. I'm not even trying, and I'm just killing them." It's like, I laughed at that. I thought that was funny. Mark Strong was still good in it. Movie was awful. Awful movie. I don't even know how it got a 6.2. That should be like in the 5 range at best.
Well, 6.2 is pretty bad. That's barely a pass.
No. If it's anything over 6 has potential. Okay, I added it and nothing happened.
I don't know. Can you change the layout? Is not accepting my clicks.
None of them are accepting mine.
Oh, thank you, StreamYard, as always.
There. Good, we got rid of Martin.
No, you got rid of Anima.
Oh.
How dare you?
Oh.
How dare you? Almost.
Nah.
Ladies and gentlemen, Rocket Kitty.
Of course.
Oh, you should see that movie, The Brothers Grimsby, just to have the experience. And screw the management, Fox for buying Disney in a cowardly way.
I think it's the other way around.
Disney bought
Fox.
Yeah. Also, if you didn't hear the news, Netflix
Oh yeah,
is in agreement. They're buying Warner Brothers, which I think is terrible.
Yeah, we're fucked.
Terrible.
Now we have only Netflix and Disney.
So it's getting from bad to worse.
Yeah, cinema theaters are going to die.
The only hope we have is with Paramount.
We're all doomed.
I like that line. Like we are divorced, like all good Russians.
Yeah.
He has to leave. We've hardly met. Where are you going to?
I need to smack you.
I was hoping to do some good smacking. The smacking of my penis into your vagina.
Oh God. Why?
Because every guy really thinks that, whether they admit it or not.
We don't say it. Now
I just said that.
You made Anima say "ay ay ay." Look what you did.
I turned her Mexican or Venezuelan.
Venexican.
Something like it.
Bullshit.
I like that one.
I love the Crypt Keeper, man. That is one of my favorite characters ever.
Look at those shitty cars.
Oh, yeah. Everybody had the same shitty car and said, you don't need anything else. But the politician, they are all in Mercedes.
Yeah, that's right.
Interesting.
But the people were driving the shitty Trabis.
Yeah. Oh.
Now this guy, if you ever saw the movie Patriot Games, he was one of the cops. He's the one who dies in the back of the van when Sean Bean's group rescues him. He's the one that they murder. Good actor. Sorry, I needed a caffeine up.
I could use some of that.
Yeah, I think caffeine gave up on me because it's not working anymore.
What are you erring about?
Oh, he's talking to Amelia.
Oh, the location reminds me of David Lean's Zhivago being shot in Spain. I love that movie. I'm wanting to show that to Danny. God, she hated this movie. God only knows what she's going to think of Zhivago.
I think you're confusing people by calling me by my real name. Because on here, I'm Anima. Not that I mind, but I don't want to confuse the audience.
I was just talking about, because they bring up Pasternak in the film. I said, I love the poetry of Boris Pasternak. In fact, at the back of Dr. Zhivago is all the poems by Dr. Zhivago, which are actually by Boris Pasternak.
I don't know who that is. I'm sorry.
As I recall, part of Conan the Barbarian was shot in Spain too.
And episode 3
of.
Phantom Menace and Attack of the Clones were in Spain.
Bring in the clones. They're already here. Now you know why. Oh, never mind. I read that line.
What?
was wanting to read that line, but never mind. Roy voiced the narrator of Paul Schrader's American film Mishima.
Oh, we still have to watch
I watched
that.
I watched that a long time ago.
Because I think Martine wanted us to watch that a while ago.
Yeah.
Look, man, I've been following that guy since the late 60s. Roy Scheider, just an incredible fucking actor. His work in what should be considered sidequels is the 7-Ups and the French Connection, because both films are about one specific cop, or has, because Roy Scheider plays the same cop that he plays in 7-Ups. It's based on the same guy, and that guy was also the technical advisor for both films. And Scheider just nailed it. I like that movie. 52 Pickup is really good.
Yeah, we did
I
that
like
this week.
Sorcerer. I like Sorcerer. I went to see that movie not knowing what the fuck I was going to see. And it was sort of like when I went to see Blade Runner. I was like, what the fuck? I'm like, why is this called Sorcerer? Using those letters, like that font. It's like, I was like, this movie's not about sorcery at all. And it's a remake of a film from the late 50s.
The Wages of Fear.
Yep. Which I think, wasn't Robert Mitchum in that?
Oh, I don't know. Let me check.
I'm fast.
I know, but I don't care. Ah, shit! I got to the French one.
Yeah, I didn't want the French one. Nobody wants the French one.
Not even the French.
It's not true. It's rated 8.1.
That's good.
What year did it come out? All right.
Oh,
searching is not working
no,
on
no,
that
no.
one.
Wages of Fear is from 53 and is absolutely French. By the way, it happens in Venezuela. And then the next one is Sorcerer. And the last one, the last remake, is I think it's still a French one. It's from 2014.
It was terrible.
Yeah. No, 2014, no, 2024. What the freak am I saying?
I could have sworn there was an English version of it from England.
No. Roy Scheider. What is here? Oh man, and don't you forget All That Jazz. I like that movie.
Yeah, I saw it when it came out. My dad took me. I got to see Sandal Bergman practically naked, so it was awesome.
How old were you?
It was 77, so I was 13.
Oh, just the right age.
I know what film I'm thinking about. It is the film Thunder Road. Because it's very similar in plot. A veteran comes home from the Korean War to the mountains and takes over the family moonshining business, and they have to transport this stuff, which is very volatile. And there are explosions. So I got those two films conflated.
D-Bud
Hey,
Martin is
D-Bud's
here.
D-Bud!
Yeah, good God, Gary doesn't want to see that. No way. Not that. No, man. Now, if she tries to dance in front of me, I want no part in that. That's just weird. But
Never
I'm quite
going to
fine
happen.
I love nudity. You can see Sandahl Bergman's erotic ass in that picture. Yes, you can. And boy, she's got legs all the way to the ground.
That's why Conan was willing to end the rest of the world to have her back.
The things that motivate a guy.
Yeah. We have never stated that we are complex creatures. We are very, very simple in nature.
Yeah.
Very simplistic thing, guys.
Will you shut up, you little shithead?
To men, almost everything counts as foreplay.
I don't know about that, but okay.
Go watch a movie with a woman, make out. Have dinner with a woman, make out. Go see a comedy. Comedian, go home, make out. Everything's foreplay to men because we can make out at any point.
Like I said a couple days ago, Gary, I'm going to get a fly thing so I can swat you away.
A fly thing? Awesome. That sounds great. Fly thing?
No, that fly swatter thing.
I know what you meant.
So I can smack your hands. Not now, you dirty monkey.
I'm a wee filthy monkey. I was trying to look around the logo to see Sean Connery's face. It didn't work. I went like that. Nope.
What?
The logo was covering his face. So I leaned to one side and went, nope, can't look around the logo.
Yeah, it doesn't work that way.
So I'm going to go ahead and get into some of the production on this because, I mean, first of all, the book, it's a typical kind of long read from Jean Le Carré. It takes you a while to get to understand what's really going on because he wants to feed you all this information. And he jumps back and forth through time and locations. And you get used to the pacing that by the end you learn what he's really doing is he is in love with her and that he wants to get her out of Soviet Russia safely.
Her and her kids.
They wanted to get the information and didn't give one shit what happens to her afterward. And he didn't like that. And especially after he falls in love with her.
Her kids really like him too. One of them gives him a drawing when they're outside. That was really sweet.
So the soundtrack itself is by Jerry Goldsmith. And I'm surprised he didn't go to John Williams because John Williams was known as a jazz musician before he was a composer. And I mean, his name was Johnny Williams back in the day when he did jazz piano. But they got Jerry Goldsmith, and he did a really good job of it. But what really makes this soundtrack so solid to me is Branford Marsalis' soprano saxophone, because he's an incredible saxophonist. And he also stood in for the actor playing the saxophone, because that's actually Marsalis.
That's cool.
And he's playing, I think it's a tenor saxophone that he's playing in that one. So production for the film worked, like I said earlier, the last 45 days of December. I mean, 89. And it was in November that the wall came down. And so they got that last, from October, they were limited to what they could do. But as of November, once the wall came down and the Soviet Union collapsed, it became more open to them filming there. So they were able to spend their last 45 days of the year basically getting to shoot in old Soviet Russia. So you get some great location shots in the film. Not like the way they had to do with what was it called?
Firefox.
Arnold Schwarzenegger's movie with Jim Belushi. He plays Danko. Red Heat, which they kind of got permission, but then also kind of snuck a shot in there. And it really looks like those two Russian cops are edging closer to find out what they're doing. And it's funny to watch that outro of the film.
They definitely spotted the camera, and they just tried to let it roll for as long as possible, but then they eventually had to fuck off.
They were slowly working their way over there. The film's opening and closing sequences, of course, were filmed in Lisbon, Portugal. And it's gorgeous because it's right on the coast.
It is. I was there. It's an amazing city. Deadly, though, if you have lung problems or other health issues, because that city is built on hills. You walk uphill or downhill all the fucking time. I was constantly out of breath for the whole week.
Pretty thin air?
No, but you walk up hills all the time. That city is the opposite of flat. And by talking hill, I mean hill. Not the molehills and called hills.
So the location shooting in this, the most interesting one is for the Russia house itself was shot completely on Bowen Island in Vancouver, British Columbia. And it's a gorgeous shot. And you know what it reminds me of? If you guys remember in the film with Michael Caine where babies aren't being born anymore, and then they find a woman pregnant, and the main protagonist in the film protects her to get her out of there.
Children of Men.
Yeah, Children of Men. Michael Caine's house reminds me of the Russia house. And I often wonder if they shot at the same location because it's so similar.
Did we watch that movie? Because I don't remember it.
No, not with you. I've seen it, but not with you.
That's a nice movie. Well, a good movie, not nice.
I think it's a great film. It is. It's good. It's great in some ways because it's good science fiction. It's very dramatic. They did some amazing camera tricks in that movie.
Oh, the scene in the car when they get shot.
Where they're not on a blue screen. The camera's constantly moving around them. And it's like how they pulled that off was amazing. And it was just a tad bit of CG added into the shot. Is how they pulled it off. It's not the background and it's not them or the car itself, but it's part of the car that's CG'd in.
Man, I was so pissed the way the movie ends. It's not a bad ending, but damn.
I forgot how it ended. How did it end?
No, I want to say because Anima hasn't seen it yet.
Oh.
Some people are careful about spoilers, you know?
You know, after a decade, you can't call it a spoiler anymore.
Spoiler for me.
Yeah.
That's what
it doesn't count. It doesn't count.
The only spoilers that I don't get are the ones that I really want when we're watching something.
All of that is, it's the responsibility of the person that hasn't seen the movie at that point to expect people after even a few weeks to not talk about a movie in front of them. That's their fucking thing. It's not yours. It's not your fucking responsibility to worry about that person.
Well, fine. Go ahead and ruin it for me then.
Ruin it, Brian. Ruin.
Well, I won't, and he doesn't remember, so you're safe.
Yeah, I'm actually going right now to Wikipedia to see if it has the full ending.
I can't
how
believe
big
you're
of a
going
dick
to
he
do that.
is. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's the assholery that I have to deal with on a
Dude.
daily basis.
Don't.
They don't give the fucking. Eurovision.
Yeah, are you seriously doing that?
Come on.
You know, he's a dick.
Okay. I remember that ending now. I remember it now. What? What are you talking about?
Dude, what are you talking about?
What did you ask me if I was seriously doing something? What?
Spoiling the ending for me.
Spoiling it.
No, I'm not.
Oh.
I just wanted to find out what it was because I couldn't quite remember how it ended. And once I read it, I'm like, oh yeah, now I remember that. Here's a guy you've seen in a lot of British films too. There's Edward Fox. I fucking love that guy. Or is that James Fox? That's James Fox.
James.
Yeah. His brother Edward plays not Mallory, the other character in Forrest Tim from Navarone, the bomb expert, explosives expert. I love how they react once they realize the mission's scrapped, that Connery has done his own thing. And fucking Roy Scheider's like, give him time. He's like, no. I know him. I know what he's done. It's over. And Scheider goes, well, that's it. And then he says that great line. I love it. He says, all right, guys, put the chairs on the tables. It's closing time. He doesn't say closing time, but you know what that means when you hear someone say, put the chairs on the tables.
That reminds me of school.
No, I talked to her about that last night. Edward Fox played the part of the Jackal in that film, a hired assassin to kill de Gaulle. And boy, you want to talk about a movie that was scrutinized by France. Almost every country, intelligence agencies were scrutinizing the shit out of that movie. Oh, now you're just making a joke that I did.
Kitty. Somebody's hungry.
The only thing I don't like in this movie is his hair. Connery's hair is just really weird. He looks like something from a 1940s villain hairstyle.
Well, Kane has used hairstyle like that.
It looks weird on Connery to me. Yeah, I know you were joking. I pointed out you were joking. Oh, he's making a joke off what I said.
You fell right into it. Wow. Ocean 60.
And then he would do a movie called Rising Sun, where Steven Seagal was his martial arts trainer.
Oh, Yeah. And the asshole broke his wrist.
I'm not sure if it's that movie or the previous one where he trained him too. Yeah, it was that one. Yeah, because it was 1996. He said he was on the Tonight Show, and Connery, I remember he held his wrist and showed where his wrist got broken. He was having a session with Steven Seagal. Oh wait, no. Steven Seagal broke Connery's wrist during the martial arts training in for the Never Say Never Again, an unofficial James Bond movie. Connery, who was 52 at the time, was learning Aikido for fight sequences and was trained by Seagal, an Aikido expert, and fight choreography. According to Connery's own account on The Tonight Show with Leno, he became overconfident during a session, stating, "I got a little cocky because I thought I knew what I was doing. I got a bit flash and raised his arm in a way that led to the injury. Seagal struck him, breaking the wrist." While some sources suggest the incident was accidental, others have speculated that it was intentional. I don't think he was interested in self-deleting his career that early. So I don't think it was intentional. I do know that he's hurt stuntmen and actors on purpose, but I think Leguizamo earned it. I'm not a big fan of Seagal as a person. I think he's a shitheel. But fucking Leguizamo doing that typical thing like you have recruits in the military is like, is this guy fucking joking? And then gets flattened by the senior drill instructor. Did that look funny? Was that funny? Then I guess it's not joking. And so Seagal kind of did the same thing to him, where he did a parry move and threw him into a brick wall. But Seagal was an asshole.
And he can't act.
Yeah, he cannot act. Save his fucking life, he cannot act.
Nope. Oh, hey, Sax. And Venkman's girl.
Hi, guys.
Okay.
Yeah, I changed my mind, Zach, so I did the show today. What castle? Okay.
I don't know what that means.
I'm trying to give you your room, Martin.
Yeah. My God, everything is out of order again.
Oh, are they fucking us again at StreamYard?
Yeah. Why do you do that, StreamYard? Let me guess.
Wait,
you need to get an upgrade.
I'll do the classic one.
Hey, fuck you, Kyle.
There you go. It's like out of order. This is really weird.
They keep doing that. It's so annoying.
I'm also going to give this one to
And of course, I cannot change studio.
Surprise, cockbags!
you need to change again. There you go. So I moved this. And by the way, StreamYard, for rearranging our stuff, our videos, this is what I had to say.
Bullshit!
Sax is suffering from that too.
And here's another one for you, Kyle.
Well, fuck you, Kyle!
There you go. At least once a week.
Fabio? What does Fabio have to do with anything?
At least I've heard someone say it named Fabio. Well, the only Fabio I know is the model that
Yeah. Well, he was a slash actor. Remember, he was in Mission Impossible, the first one.
He is not an actor. He is just a model.
I have a cousin
Swear to
named
God.
Fabio.
He could not act his way out of a fucking paper bag. If somebody put a gun to his head and said, act or I squeeze the trigger, you know what he's going to do?
Die.
He is going to die. Really? Fabio said that? How the fuck does he know Seagal? Or are we talking about a completely different Fabio? I don't know. That's right, Zax. Fuck you. Fuck you, baby.
What is this? Investment gear. I don't get it.
What kind were they? Were they granny panties or were they more form shaped?
She says sexy underwear, so obviously not grandmother style. Jesus Christ, Gary.
Some people might like granny panties.
Yeah.
Yeah, speak for yourself.
No, I've never been into those. I made a joke once with I'm not going to say her name because you know who she is, and I don't want to out her, but when we were dating and she got down to her skivvy and she was wearing granny panties, pink ones, cute ones, but they were granny panties, and I'm like, you're not going to wear those to bed, are you? What she did next was fucking hilarious. She grabbed the band underneath the butt cheeks and pulled them up over her hips. She goes, instant sexy panties. And I'm like, not really, but okay. No, not really. But okay, his channel, the Italian Stallion 51, used to be popular, but now you can't find it on YouTube. Was it really Fabio? It's interesting. Her kids, even though they're not major characters in the film, are adorable when they pop around. In Russia.
What do you say?
I guess he's not a sheriff in Georgia anymore.
Oh man.
Yeah, all those years I was doing those movies. Did you know I was also what do they call that? Part-time or something, deputy sheriff in Atlanta, Georgia. And then he's walking around and like sometimes he's talking like he's from the street and sometimes he's talking like himself. And then he starts doing like a Cajun accent. And I'm just like, what the fuck, dude? What the fuck? He reminds me of Quentin Tarantino. Like he did an interview one day with a black network, and I do believe it was the Ebony show, and he had a bunch of the black actors he worked with, and all of a sudden, man, he's like talking like he's from the street. And I'm like, what are you doing, dude? That is like so bizarre. Let me see if I can find that because that was wackadoodle what he did. That started talking like he was from the street.
Well,
Why would he do that though? That's just weird.
Probably the same reason why Vala Harris developed an urban accent when she was hanging out with a majority black community for speaking. She would suddenly start talking like it's like, no, you're not from that area. Why are you talking like that? Did the same thing with the Deep South. Developed a really thick accent.
That's pretentious.
And I think there's something else going on when
with
all that popped up is fucking Quentin Tarantino calling Paul Dano probably the worst actor ever. He can't act. He's a terrible actor. And I'm like, why would you say that out in public?
Yeah.
You know,
that sucks.
Like, it was not necessary to do that. Oh, I wholly agree with him. I don't think Paul Dano could act to save his life. Like Fabio. There's those kids. They're so freaking adorable in the movie. Tom Stoppard's adapted screenplay was criticized by Vincent Canby in the New York Times. There's evidence Mr. Stoppard's wit in the dialogue, but the lines are not easily spoken, which is not to say that. I love it when you copy and paste, Gambit. To say that they are unspeakable, they're just clumsy. No, George Lucas wrote the same way, which is why Harrison Ford, Mark Hamill, and Carrie Fisher poked so much fun at him, because they said, you can write this shit, but you can't say it. And then I loved it one time, George Lucas actually recited it back to them. And it just kind of left them quiet. He said the line the way it's supposed to be said. But he gave some crazy fucking dialogue to Luke Skywalker. And, for Mark Hamill to read. And like for his audition, he had to talk about this converter and all this weird jargon, which he remembers to this day. He's never forgotten that dialogue. Well, yeah, it's called the chameleon effect.
Yep.
And I don't like it. What I've learned over the years is it's sometimes attributed to mental problems.
And, I don't like it when people do it on purpose, but it's something that happens when you change location. You start talking with the people around you. It's natural.
Well, that's true. I mean, you look at Madonna. She was in England for 3 months, I think, and all of a sudden she was British, speaking the Queen's English. You guys remember that? Anybody else remember that shit? When she was married to Guy Ritchie, fucking all of a sudden she's doing interviews with an English accent. It was the most bizarro fucking thing I'd ever seen. It's like, no, it takes years, Madonna, for that to occur.
But it does happen because my then boyfriend, he moved to Austria, to Vienna from Germany, and he would stop using the German words because it just felt awkward.
And that's why, I've decided to stop trying to imitate Anima when I repeat things she has said. I've decided to simply just do Arnold.
Arnold Ma.
Oh God.
It's Animold.
Well, you do a pretty good Arnold, but when you do me, you just make me sound retarded.
So I'm just, to be honest with you, Arnold sounds like a retarded Austrian when he talks. So
that's because of his dialect. He talks like a farmer.
I almost thought you were going to say that's because he's retarded.
No.
Well, all the shit he took in his bodybuilding days.
He actually, I'm really proud of him because a lot of people have complained and saying that he was still juicing when he was making movies and wasn't doing competition anymore. And I went, no, you didn't. He absolutely was tested for it because he said, I stopped after competition. I never juiced again after that. But I do believe that it's the juicing that was done between him and Stallone, because you see them like huddled in a corner with a couple of spoons, putting it over a fire of, like anabolic steroids about to shoot up both of them together. But that's not how it happened. But I just think that's funny in my head, seeing that image of them huddled together doing steroids together. But they both did steroids. And later on, they both had severe heart problems. And rumors, I remember back in the early 90s, rumors of Stallone's pecker not working anymore because of steroids.
Oh,
and that he had one of those, that he had that surgical implant that was inflatable. And I'm just like, man, I don't know if that's true, but boy, I bet you Schwarzenegger probably loves that story at this point. That's back before I found out they became friends. But I've often wondered, because even though they say Arnold's mother had that heart condition, if it wasn't more towards the steroids that did it, because that's typical problems with the heart with using steroids. Anabolic steroids, sorry. I am going to do a grok image of Arnold Schwarzenegger and Stallone huddled in a corner with syringes.
It won't let you.
You know what Grok won't? I don't know. It's done some weird shit for me before.
But that's too weird for Grok, I think.
Look at those scrawny fucking Russian cars, man. What pieces of crap.
They are basically as safe as cardboard boxes on wheels when it comes to accidents.
Oh, yeah. Look,
You're
man, comedy cars are amazingly bad.
That's the one thing that Mustache Guy did right.
Wait,
he gave
what?
the people the Volkswagen. That's
Yeah,
a
they
solid
lived out.
car.
Yeah, they lived out in the country. In fact, I'll look it up.
Dude, we're talking about Styria. There are no real big cities in that part of Austria.
It's now a museum dedicated to him. And despite as much as he's done for Austria, they still won't let him do his own dubbing.
That's because the biggest part of the market for German dubbed movies is, of course, Germany, and then you have Switzerland. They would complain badly if he did his own dubbing. Nobody outside of Austria would understand him, and people in Austria probably wouldn't like it. I mean, who wants to listen to Conan or whatever talk like a Styrian apple farmer? No one wants that.
Well, we have heard him in his very tough accent, and I can say that because I have one. Nobody cared. What did you say, that Austrians are too touchy?
No, I'm just saying, if you can't speak clear German, you're not doing your own dubbing. Like I said earlier, I'm pretty sure that Klaus-Maria Brandauer gets to do his own dubbing, but
I'm assuming they think that would consider his dubbing to be too muddy, his accent too muddy to understand.
Yeah.
We hear him ask his accent in English, or his forget about it.
He got better. In his early movies, his English is terrible, but he really got better.
Yeah, one of his coaches told him that he could help him lose the accent, and Arnold refused.
And I totally get it.
Well, it's part of his thing. The one thing you always remember about him is that fucking way he talks.
Yeah, it's as much a part of him and his thing as his gap used to be. And then he got rid of it.
Oh, this is kind of cool. I got to show you this one. Image in I keep asking for an aerial view of the house, and it just the only aerial view it shows is of his current house, not his childhood home, which is what I asked. I'll at least show this one.
Do it.
You know, Google Maps isn't too good for Austria, so maybe there's just no good shot.
What are you hiding there?
Nothing. It's just not a country where they are in a hurry to complete it or whatever.
That's something that somebody who's hiding something would say.
I wanted to show Gary the houses I grew up in, and I could barely get a good shot of them because they're not in a big city. Vienna is okay-ish, but out there, nah.
Again, what are you hiding in your old house?
Nothing. My dad still lives there. He doesn't even have an attic anymore because he raised the roof so he could have an additional room up there. It's almost a chalet at this point.
He has one of those. He has one of those ponds you can swim in. And I'm like, I wouldn't swim in that.
Oh, my mom.
No, it's completely safe, and I'm like, I don't care. I don't care.
It is absolutely safe. It has a filtration system. You're not going to get any bacteria from that.
There you go. That is a cool photo. That's his son out in front of his dad's childhood home.
Notice the color on that house, by the way? That screams Austria at you. That's called Emperor's Yellow. That's the color Schönbrunn has on the outside.
It really is a beautiful home, and it is out in the country.
Arnold's son, Bankman's Girl. Oh, which one?
Yeah,
Does he have more than
it's
one?
his love child. It's his love child. It's his love child. I've tried to say it 3 times.
And I heard all 3 of them.
I didn't know if they heard me. He's half Hispanic and half Austrian. That house really is pretty. I don't think that photo really shows just how yellow it is. How much, because the yellow in other photos that are, correct colors, it's more of a gold color, and I like that. It's gorgeous.
Yeah, it's a very rich yellow, and I love that style with the green doors and windows and the white frame around them and the white line dividing the stories of the house. It's pretty. Even our holiday home looked like that, and there was just a tiny little hut next to a farm, but they painted it like that.
Oh, this is where they find out that phone call when it came in was for him to let her know they were going to kill him, but because he said her name wrong. He called her Alina.
Imagine getting killed over something like that.
Welcome to a totalitarian government.
Mm.
Ain't it nice? Well,
And that's the problem. A lot of with the Licari films, unless it's done by the right person who understands Licari, because when you see his any of the Alec Guinness productions were just amazing. And I really loved Gary Oldman as Smiley and Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy, and I love that fucking movie. That was done perfectly. And I think if I had ended this film, if I were making it, I wouldn't have ended with the happy ending. I would have ended with him just being resolved with hope that she would show up one day.
I am pretty sure that
they executed him. Yeah, they executed him. They got all they were going to get out of him and used the 2-cent Tokarev pistol bullet and put it through his head. Oh, absolutely. I said it earlier in the show, and I'll say it again. It is my favorite version of Smiley. Gary Oldman was born to play that character. Yeah, see, I would have ended at the scene of him looking out that window and restrained myself from giving the happy ending.
You monster.
Because there's nothing more than leaving people with hope. I like that. Leave them with hope. Don't tell them that, having a happy ending isn't always necessary. Sometimes the hope is the most important part, that he has faith that they will let her go and that she will come to him.
Nah.
Just don't make it a sad ending.
Nah. Let me have my dopamine hit.
He did both Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy and Smiley's People. Alec Guinness.
Only you could say that, Tim. Only you.
Oh, not that kind of happy ending, but thank you, Tim.
Hello, Tim.
Did you give him this video yet? No.
By what name are you known?
There are some who call me Tim.
Bullshit!
Oh my.
Yep.
I mean, you have to tell them in this movie, with this context, with that government, you have to tell for certain that she's alive. If you don't say that, man, that is gonna torture me. Say, oh, they got her. She's dead. She's in a ditch. Somebody, somewhere else. Oh, you have a petition here, Anima.
Well, we're waiting.
Yeah, show us Amelia.
You should have joined earlier, Tim, because she was Rocket Kitty. Now she's asleep in my lap.
Oh.
Hey, all it takes is a pinch to wake him back up.
Dude,
You asshole.
you're a monster.
Yes, he is.
It's true. I really am.
Oh, I heard her.
Yeah, I just put my hand on her.
All right, here's some more shots from different angles. And this is the one that best shows that color.
Yep.
How bright it is.
That's what it looks like in real life.
it gets muted in some photos depending on the, I guess, the color.
They use that yellow here in Mexico a lot too.
Weren't there Austrians in Mexico at one point? I seem to recall.
I don't know. I knew about Irish.
They just like bright colors, I guess, in South America.
That's true.
But here in Austria, it's all about the yellow. Because that's the emperor's color, yellow and white.
See, let sleeping cats lie. No, that's not Anima's house. That's
No.
Arnold.
But my dad's family used to rent a holiday home that was painted in that style.
Yeah, see, I knew there was something about Austria and Mexico. Yeah, Maximilian the First. Austria is one of the few countries that doesn't require any special documentation to go to Mexico. But he was the emperor of Mexico, 1832 to 1867.
Oh, I forgot about that. That's right.
Yeah. It's like I'm sitting there going, I remember something dealing with Austria, and the reason for that royal color being popular there is because of the former emperor of Mexico, Maximilian the First. I guarantee you that's why.
Yeah.
So I like that picture of Arnold. He looks like he's looking at the camera going, whatever.
Yeah.
Screw your camera.
Screw you and your camera. In fact, I'm going to screw you with your camera. I only remember an emperor of Mexico.
Yeah.
But I'm just sitting there and I went, Imperial Yellow, you mentioned in Mexico, and I'm thinking there's a reason for that. I remember history. That's Maximilian the First. There you go.
Maximilian the Only.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He got into all kinds of trouble, and then they shot him. He, as I recall, before he did beg for forgiveness from his people, and that he will always love them.
That would have been a classy thing to do.
And then they put a bullet in him. And you know, I guess that's the first use of FAFO right there. He was told by his family to abdicate, and he wasn't listening. I'm going to do things my way. Yeah, I don't remember anything about any empire within Brazil.
Well, Snorty says from 1822 to 1889.
Yeah.
Welcome to History with Pop Culture Minefield.
Oh. Oh. There were attempts, believe me.
Wait a minute.
No,
well, I know they hired the production company hired security for Donnie, the Indian actor in Predator.
Ah, yeah.
It wasn't to keep him safe; it was to keep everybody else safe from him. Because he liked brawling. And that's a fact. He's fucking, a couple beans short of a burrito.
Why did you have to say that? Now I want a freaking burrito.
Yeah, I felt the same way. I was like, I could really go for a burrito. Then I thought I could have a cheese crisp, which is the same thing as a quesadilla, but it's fried crispy on the bottom. It's the only difference.
I've been seeing those here. I'm not saying that they do not exist, but in Mexico City per se. I haven't seen it. Maybe it's a regional thing.
Well, I know that where I grew up in Phoenix was heavily Mexican area, and that's where we learned it from in our family because we love traditional Mexican food, which even includes coastal Mexican food. Like I grew up eating a lot of Mexican seafood, which is amazing. My brother-in-law is a hell of a chef.
Dude.
But one of the quick treats we were taught as kids was making cheese crisps. And what you would do is you would take a tortilla, white flour tortilla, and you heat up the what do you call it? The skillet. Drop the tortilla flat with just a little bit of oil in it. You don't want to make it sloppy, gross fried. You want it browned and crispy, and then you sprinkle cheese all around the tortilla till it melts. Right when it melts, it's done. Take it out, cut them into triangles, and dip in salsa, or just put salsa on it and cut it. And I taught all that shit to my daughter Zoe. She learned all the cool shits. Like when we were poor, growing up in Phoenix, one of my favorite treats was to take butter and smear it all over the pan, heat it up, flip the white flour tortilla in there once, and then flip it over, and then sprinkle it with brown sugar and cinnamon. Just sprinkle it. And then the butter that's on the top part of it blends with it, so it kind of caramelizes. And it's kind of like almost like a churro, but different. And it was really nice little snack. It was one of Zoe's favorite snacks as a kid. And she would go in there and she'd go, Dad, can I make one of those queso sugary things? I'm like, yeah, go ahead. By the way, she called me right before the show. And
everything okay?
Yeah, she was just wanting to talk to me.
Okay.
She just called me. She was washing dishes, and I was on the video phone, like aimed at her across the counter, and I went, I never thought I'd live to see the day. And she goes, not funny, Dad. I said, no, it's a compliment. You're actually washing dishes. And it looks like you're actually going to do it and not kill somebody. That's great. People wonder how I got her to modify all the time. I would shit on her about something. Like when she said, you just want me to be your slave, when I was trying to teach her how to fucking wash dishes. And I said, baby, if you were a fucking slave, I'd whip you to death. You're horrible.
That's not very encouraging.
Look, I'm a jerk. It's a known fact. But I believe that, especially with your kids, don't sugarcoat it. I mean, I try to be nice in some ways, but when it came down to it, when she was really slipping as a teen, man, I would just lay into her about it. Like, she said, you're a teenager, you should understand. I went, I do understand, but I still did my fucking chores. I didn't piss and moan about it all the time. All I ever did one time, I made a joke at my dad's expense, and he never cooked for me again. It was when I came home.
That showed you.
My dad made a huge army pot full of refried beans. And he expected that to be at every fucking meal for the next month. And so I came home from school. I said, hey, Pop, what's for dinner? He says, burritos. I said, again? He looked at me, he says, you complaining? I feed you like a king. A king with beans. Oh, sorry. Not first time beans, but second time beans. That's what refried means.
Yeah.
My dad laughed at that. He thought that was funny. I was being very clever. And he says, you're right. So I'm not going to feed you anymore. You can feed your damn self. And he never did. He never cooked another meal for me. And you know what? We started getting more variety in our dinners. because I was a short order cook and I learned how to cook all these things. And so I'd get an idea to bring something home. And but I learned to hate one of them, liver and onions, because I worked at Shoney's for just too long and as a short order cook. And we're on I-95. So all those Jewish families traveling from New York down to Florida would hit our restaurant right off I-95. And I couldn't stand the smell. It grossed me out. And what's worse is I would go home and I would scrub for like 20, 30 minutes and I couldn't get the fucking smell out of my skin. And it ruined liver and onions for me for years. I finally started being able to eat it again back in 2016. First time I had liver and onions since I was a child.
Man, that I can imagine that. I love eating liver and onion.
I tried to be nice once, hated it, and never did it again. There you go. I just hit a point in my 50s where, in particular, I wasn't interested in anymore pulling my punches with people because I've been dealing with stupid people for so fucking long. People who think they know shit and they don't fucking know their history. They don't know things about how things work. And I was reminded in middle school of reading that poster that said, those of you who think you know it all are annoying those of us who do. And because once I hit college level, I made it an essential life mission to learn about life and learn about governments, how they work, what they are. When you break them down, what are they really? And the only person I've ever met more knowledgeable than me, actually, you're really knowledgeable, Martin. I like that about you because you have a very good working knowledge. But the only one I really know is smarter than me is Andre. Because I said something and I was 90% right, but I was 10% wrong. And I didn't catch it. And he corrected me. And that made me fall in love with Andre. That night we had that conversation. And so ever since that day, I've always said, man, I'm not gay, but if I swung that way, you're the guy. Andre thought that was funny. I'm one of the few people who's actually cracked him up on camera. Well, he's never on camera, but live on a stream. I've done it 3 times. I remember Fat Steven Seagal was like, well, I made him laugh once. I said, you made him chuckle or chortle. I made him belly laugh. So shut the fuck up. Stop competing with me, Steven. I miss him.
Yeah, he's only gaming now, right?
That's it. He's doing his own thing, man. It's what he wants to do. Spends all his time on Rumble. And God bless him. He's been through enough.
Well, man,
I feel bad for everything he's gone through.
He was, YouTube started to treat him badly at the point that he abandoned.
Oh, I know. Yeah, I know. And he was having so much problems in his personal life with his dad and with the flooding.
Oh, yeah.
The flooding.
That was bad.
And then what YouTube did to him after all the trucking stuff, because he got some great followers and great numbers. And then all of a sudden they punished him. How dare you? How dare you show the truth of what's going on in Canada? And they punished him. And they kept punishing him until he left. Stephen used his own punchline like, can I laugh at your face? The funniest thing with him was we were having a meeting one night, just the conference call. And I accidentally, instead of hitting the leave the room button, I saw red. And I didn't realize, because I didn't have my glasses on, that I hit the turn on camera feature. And I'm sitting there bare shirted. And he went, what the? And I went, oh. It was so gay the way I do it. Oh. And he went, no. And he left. It was funny as shit. Because I didn't care. It's like I'm a guy, not a girl. So it's not like something weird. But I acted like I was a woman, all models. Oh. Oh my God, I love Steven Seagal.
I doubt that girls would sit
Fat
without
Steven
a
Seagal.
shirt in front of a camera, even if it's turned off.
I
Never
love
know.
Fat Steven Seagal. I love him. He's
We all
just such
do.
a sweetheart of a guy. And I miss him. I do. I messaged him not too long ago. I said, "Hey man, I miss you, dude."
Just think us.
Oh yeah. I was surprised he didn't get arrested for some of the shit he did and said. YouTube originally never did that, but the corpos took over. Yeah. No comment. Okay. But anybody who knows Steven, like Fat Steven, please mention to him I said that, because I fucking love that guy. I really do, and I miss him. I always loved how he competed to be funnier than me. And sometimes he would snap out some funny shit. It really was. It made me chuckle. But I remember, like, I broke his heart one night. I just decided to fuck with him. He says, "Well, you know, I'm funny." I went, "Really?" And he went, "Yeah, I'm funny. I don't think I've ever laughed at a thing you've ever said. I thought you were always being serious." "No, you're fucking with me now." I went, "No, you're not funny to me." And I was fucking with him. But I wasn't going to tell him I'm fucking with him. I just wanted to fuck with him a little bit. Get under his skin a little bit. It was fun to do that to him. That's why I don't know. He's one of my favorite people to hang out with. What's this? I've overheard Mike Tyson say that Steven shat in his pants after being choked. Yeah, that was the story he was talking about with Bell. That Bell choked him out, but other people have refuted the story, and that Tyson was told that story third hand, not even second hand. And I don't know. I believe when LaBelle said that he choked him out. I do believe that. And I think that's what LaBelle actually just said, that he choked him out. And showing him a move. And he did the same thing with Bruce Lee. He and Bruce Lee became friends. That scene in the movie Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is a lie. That didn't happen the way they show it in the film. LaBelle really liked him. And LaBelle was brought in because he was a martial artist. He was a judo expert. And they thought he would be able to communicate with Bruce, the problem that the stuntmen were having with him, because he's a little rough on him. And so his job was to go in there, not to teach him a lesson, but instead to become friends with him, really, and to work with him, because he was one of the fight choreographers for the show, the Green Hornet. And so LaBelle did some moves with him that impressed, because Bruce Lee didn't think much of judo. But Art LaBelle, got him to change his fucking mind, because he did some moves that he was impressed with. And so he learned some judo. And that's what he would do. The thing I love about Bruce Lee, he wasn't a fucking prick like they show in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, like all full of himself. He was a very thoughtful person, intelligent, and he liked to convey his philosophies. But what he learned, every once in a while, he would meet someone like he didn't like. Was it karate? The specific karate that Dan Inosanto did. Inosanto did, Filipino style. And he didn't like the weapons, like nunchucks. He did not like nunchucks. But Dan taught him nunchucks. And once he fucking really saw what you can do with those, how they really work, Bruce was all into them. And he's the one who invented the rubber chuck. You guys know what that is? I don't expect Anima, but she may know, because I think I've told her before. Rubber chucks are PVC pipe, thin PVC pipe, about that big around, and you put foam around it, and then you take electrician's tape, and they would tape it all the way up the body. And it would look like hard plastic or, polished wood. And that's what you see him hitting people with in his movies. Those aren't real regular nunchucks. Those are rubber chucks. And
I don't think you ever talked about them to me.
I think I did one night when I brought up, because I brought up Dan Innocento and Bruce Lee meeting the first time. Everybody thinks it was later. It's like, no, it was early on. I think it was still the 60s when they met first time. And Dan ended up becoming a student of Jeet Kune Do. But he brought with him, the wonderful thing about Jeet Kune Do is it is all martial arts, the best moves, the most effective moves from those different styles. And that's when, it's because of Innocento that Bruce began learning about other styles. And Art LaBelle got him interested in judo when he had thought it was a garbage martial art. He really did. And once he understood how judo really works, seeing it done by a practitioner on him, because he took him to the mat quite a few times. Art LaBelle did. And Art LaBelle took Steven Seagal into a fucking chokehold. And he couldn't get out of it, and he fucking, according to some people, said that he shit his pants.
Well, if he lost consciousness, that's just what happens.
And then Stallone, I don't think he's the one who told the story that way, but he also talked about the night that things heated up at a party at his house, and Jean-Claude Van Damme said, okay, let's go outside. We'll settle this. And then they said that Steven Seagal left and he pissed himself, which I'm like, it might be true, but I do know he fled. I know he fled because Stallone said that. He just disappeared. And he was afraid of fucking Jean-Claude because Jean-Claude is a real fucking martial artist.
Yeah, you should be.
I get so tired of people going, well, he didn't do competition. I said, then you haven't fucking done your research. Go to Belgium and France, the competitions he was in. Italy, too. Or was it Spain? It's either Spain or Italy, where he did some competition, too. And he was a full contact competitor. He knows how to fucking throw a kick. And it's like, man, oh, man. The pretty stuff is what annoys me with him when he does the fancy shit, the splits and all that stuff. It's like, oh, that's so awesome. It's like, no, it's not, because I've been a martial artist my whole life. And I was kind of annoyed at the ballet-like shit that he would do with martial arts. I didn't like it. No, sir, I didn't like it. But
he made it look pretty for movies. I understand that.
Yeah, but he did a scene with, give me a minute, I'll remember his name, Sho Kosugi, where I think he was supposed to be a Russian. Jean-Claude was.
Yeah, he was a villain.
He's the bad guy.
Tim?
Yes, he is.
I don't know if he's still around, but here's Rocket Kitty.
Oh, Rocket Kitty.
Yeah, she doesn't want to be on camera. Neither do I.
Ooh, I like that line. Yeah. You could be walking into surgery right now, my friend. But, you know, Seagal was on, and I remember watching this live when Arsenio Hall had him on the first time. And he says, there's a lot of going back and forth of who's the real martial artist. And he kind of made fun of Van Damme. And then he's, you know, Arsenio says, in a real fight, he says, from the waist down, he would have me. From the waist up, I would have him. Is the way Seagal said it on the show. And I remember watching that. But once I really learned about Seagal, I'm like, this guy has never actually really fought anyone, I don't think. And I just lost all belief in his ability to fight. He's absolutely a master of Aikido. Absolutely. And Aikido is a really good martial art for him, but it was designed specifically to be used between a samurai and another samurai if the samurai becomes disarmed. It's a way of learning to fight if you lose your weapon in combat. And that's really what it's for. And it only works a certain way. If you try to use that on the street, 90% of the time, that shit ain't going to work for you. The style that worked for me was Kaju Kimbo. And my Sifu was Terry Fairclough. He's been featured at least once. I know Al Dacascos was on Kung Fu Magazine a couple of times. He was my Grand Sigu. And then my Sifu was Terry Faircloth, who was on there at least once. And just one of the fastest men I've ever seen. Little tiny guy. Like, he looked like, first time I saw him from behind, I thought he was a kid. And I said, where is the Sifu? And he turned and he says, I'm the Sifu. And I went, oh, you're a grown fucking man. You're just really, really short. But he's fucking amazing, man. Lightning fingers. Like, he would just like jab you right in the throat or in the eye perfectly. Like, he would, like, I would feel the air on my eyeball when he would do it. His accuracy was incredible, and he still is. I love that on his Facebook page that he posts, and he was supposed to do a show with me, but it's just things have gotten more complicated for him, and so I stopped bothering him. But he was wanting to do it with me, where we would do a martial arts show, and we would talk about a movie and how good the martial arts was in the film. And I wanted to have him on. I wanted to have Polly on, because I know Polly's a practitioner too. And I like hanging out with other martial artists. And the fun thing about martial artists, if you're a real martial artist, when you meet someone of another martial art form, you immediately have conversations about your style. And then you want to do a little show and tell. It's no full contact shit, but you want to go in, you want to see how they move, and you want to see what their style is. And it's a lot of fun. And my martial arts training almost got me kicked out of boxing, because when I first started boxing, I had a problem. And I went into my first fight, and I kept raising my leg up when the guy would rush at me, start coming at me to fight, and my left leg would go up. And it's like, third time I did it, the referee said, I'm going to forfeit this fight in his favor if you do that one more time. And I'm like, oh my God, I've been doing this since I was a little kid. I don't know what to do. I just learned not to do it. Threatening me was smart. He needs to start losing some damn weight. Not in Russia. Never going to happen. Chuck Norris could take. Oh man, I'm going to tell you right now. Chuck Norris, when he was asked about Seagal, he just chuckled. He says, "Do you think he could beat you in a fight, or you could beat him in a fight?" He just laughed. And finally, he just kind of mumbles, "He's not a real fighter. He's not a real martial artist, you know." And I'm like, it's not totally true, but I kind of think that Chuck Norris would kick his ass in a fight. And Chuck has a lot of experience with competition fighting and having to use it on the street. But yeah, he got so fat. Hence Fat Steven Seagal's name. Well, he's still pretty good with his hands. I watched him, because there's the anime. You watch that blonde-haired Germanic guy I watch that does a kung fu channel where he travels around the world. He'll do MMA, jiu-jitsu, go up against them and learn shit from them.
Yeah.
And I love that guy. He traveled to Russia to interview Seagal, and Seagal took him out on the pads, and he took that kid down a couple times. But the problem is the kid had to be in a certain position for him to do it. But once he was able to do it, that's the problem with Aikido. Your opponent has to fight like a samurai. So you have to put him in positions like he would have in a typical combat situation. That's the flaw with Aikido. Although, one of the things I've always said, if I can touch you, you're in trouble. If I get my hands on you, you're in a lot of trouble. And I learned so many things about grappling with, particularly Kaju Kimbo, because we used the Aikido in that too. And I remember my Sifu watched me take down a higher ranking student using one move. And I had worked that move for so long. And when I got an opportunity to use that one move, I fucking took him straight to the ground, and he couldn't get up. And it was a simple fucking move. But Bill Wallace once said that to be the best martial artist you can be, learn 3 different combinations, 3 different 3-part combinations. And you master those and you won't lose a fight. And I was like, that's profound. And he says, it's always worked for me and all my students that when they get into a confrontation, no matter what angle somebody comes at you, if you learn those combinations, those 3 different combinations of 3 moves, you will do a lot of harm. And I'm like, eh. And I learned that back in, I think, 82, 83. And it was in Kung Fu magazine. I used to read the shit out of Kung Fu magazine. But he's good at grappling, and that's all he's good at now. He's too fat to do anything else. His kicks are garbage. He's got the worst kicks I've ever seen, period. Ever. Even when he was younger, his kicks. The only thing I thought he did was an inside kick to the shin to take out your opponent's opposite leg behind him, their power leg. And he did that move, and I was like, oh, that was really fucking cool. Now, in the style that I learned, that's usually a scrape, not a kick, where you start at the top of the shin and go down with the inside of your foot. And but he did it as an actual kick, and it was a solid kick. I liked it. That was good. But his other kicks were just garbage. His front kicks hold no power. Like, you know, a lot of people, when they see me kick, I mean, shit, I did the 1-inch punch on a friend once, and I knocked him back about 12 feet. And he goes, how do you do that? I said, it's not here. It's your hips. It's all in your hips. The 1-inch punch, your power doesn't come from your arm. You're just straightening your arm out, and the hip is throwing the force into it. By the way, I will tell you, fat doesn't stop a lot of good martial artists.
Oh, no.
Jackie Chan's buddy, Sammy Hung. Holy shit. That guy was fatter than hell and nimble little minx. Nimble little minx, man. That guy was fucking fast. Animal, we need to watch that movie. Put the list down. I want you to watch this movie with me so we can do Kung Fu Saturday. And the name of the movie
Which one?
is... I'm going to give you the name. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
Wheels on Meals. That is my first introduction to Benny the Jet outside of magazines. Because I only knew him in magazines. I finally got to see him in action in that fucking movie. And that fight between him and Jackie Chan was intense. And Jackie really liked working with Benny. And made, I think, 3 movies with him. Oh, wait. What are we talking about? He is fluent in Japanese. He absolutely is. He maintained the largest dojo in Japan. Was run by Steven Seagal. And that's just a matter of fact. Yeah, but he's also bullshitted his way around too. Like he said, he met Bruce Lee, and the period of time he says that he met him, he couldn't have met him. So, Sammo Hung, my God, that guy is good. He's an amazing martial artist, but he's also a very good director and a very good choreographer. And Sammo was a childhood friend of Jackie's as well as the other guy that's in the movie. They all were in the Chinese, what do they call it? The ballet they did together. And that's where they learned Kung Fu, is through dance. And they would get caned, man. When I found that out, I'm like, I hope that school got shut down. Caning your students because they got something wrong. Unexcusable.
Boss, I need to leave.
All right, man. We need to end anyway. So let me say bye to everybody. You go ahead and go, buddy. I got it. Gambit, Snorty, Penny, Sally Forth, Stephen Collins, 9062. Welcome to the show, my friend. I hope you enjoyed yourself. Keith, the movie geek, who is just my partner in crime. Daniel Garcia, Real Wade Nation Gaming, Hail in Place, D. Bud Martin, Vinkman's Girl, and Anima says she's falling asleep. Good night, baby. Have sweet dreams.
Hopefully.
And we're going to get out here, guys. Ciao, everybody. Ciao.
Bye, everybody.
See you tomorrow.
Y'all come back now. You hear?
Matt Damon.